Alright, so today I want to speak about a topic that's very near and dear to my heart, and it is supplements. Now, recently, the fitness industry and supplement companies have really been pushing supplements to be something they are not. Supplements are an item that's meant to supplement a good base. So in terms of fitness, that good base would be a proper training regimen and a proper nutrition regimen. Now, supplements can help you reach the next level, but they cannot fill the voids in a weak nutrition programming or weak training programming. If those aren't on the level they need to be, then there's no supplement in the world that will take you to where you want to be, whether it's bench 2 times body weight, deadlift 3 times body weight, a bodybuilding show or a physique show. No supplement will bring you to that level. And that's something I've really become frustrated with, is the supplement industry is pushing these products. For example, product X right here, that you need this product to achieve your goals. And in reality, that's not the case. They're supplements and they're a discretionary purchase. If you want to spend the money on them and your goals are that important to you, then well, you can. And if you don't, everything else is on point, you really don't need them at the end of the day. It's more of a discretionary purchase. However, the supplement industry pushes them. Like, you need a pre-workout, a whey protein, a casein, a hydrolyzed whey, creatine, fish oil, multivitamins, joint supplements, etc., to achieve your goals. And when you're new, for example, as I'll get into my story in a little bit, it's overwhelming. I mean, you go on a site, for example, bodybuilding.com, I got over here in a side window, and there are just a bunch of different categories of supplements. So when you're new and the companies are advertising them with the way they advertise, like you need them all, I mean, you think, oh crap, I know I gotta have all this stuff or I'm never gonna bench press 500 pounds or what have you. So it's just super overwhelming, because the supplement industry is not very honest with their product. They will say that it has this much content. In reality, the numbers are skewed, and they find loopholes in the system to make them skewed. And for people that don't understand all the technology and all the terminology and whatnot, will get scammed out of their money. So that's one of the reasons I'm making this video, because I personally was one of those people that got scammed out of my money before I started to read and learn. Now, a little quick disclaimer I am not sponsored by any supplement companies. Hey, what's up, guys? I want to thank you all for checking in again. This is going to be the next video in the lessons I learned during my fitness journey, I guess you call it, whatever. This is kind of one of the main reasons why I made this channel, was the supplement industry and how I sort of fell into their pitfalls and marketing ploys and ended up wasting thousands of dollars. This is going to be a rather longer video than normal. I really hope you guys watch the whole thing, and please share with people that you know spend a lot of money on supplements and kind of fall into these same pitfalls or what have you that I fell into. So real quick, a quick housekeeping thing. This was the main reason, as I said, behind me making this channel, or one of the main reasons. The other one is food, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But a quick housekeeping thing is I've been trying to make these perfect for everybody, make them really entertaining, make them really great for everyone to watch, so we get shared a lot and a lot of views and whatnot. But in all reality, I don't have that kind of equipment. I don't have any fancy editing equipment, lighting or cameras or what have you. So I mean, I just do it on my webcam on my laptop, and then just use like a Windows Live Media Maker, and that's about as advanced as I can get. I don't have the kind of time to put into making really fancy edited videos. I mean, I'm a college kid. I don't do this for money. I just do this to help educate people and help them from making the same mistakes I did. So this is not making me any money by any means. So please definitely share this video so we can kind of start a trend in the fitness industry. So my story with supplements, as I mentioned before, I got completely burned out of money when I was a kid. I bought thousands of dollars in supplement products I didn't really need. For example, I would buy a thermogenic and a mass gainer, and there's really two opposite goals, because to get ripped, you have to decrease your caloric intake, which is a whole nother topic for a whole nother day, and it's not part of the video. But basically, you have to decrease your caloric intake. And thermogenic, what I thought would help to make me lean, I would take it because I wanted abs. When I first started in fitness, abs were my life. I would do anything to have a set of abs because I was fat. So I wanted abs, and I thought if I had abs, I'd be happy. So I took this thermogenic because the ad had a ripped dude and said, had a before picture and had a current picture, and they said he got him ripped in whatever 9 weeks or whatever the time frame was. Now I also wanted to bench press more than 135 because I struggled to do 135 for multiple sets and multiple reps, which was rather embarrassing. At least personally to me, I was like really embarrassed by it. So I took a mass gainer because from what I saw, like you had to eat a lot to get big. So for some reason, I did both those things at the same time, and it never really worked. So, but I spent the money on supplements. I keep spending and spending and spending, and results just didn't come and didn't come and didn't come. And so I kept spending and spending and spending, and you get the picture. I racked up thousands of dollars in supplements that were worthless to me. In addition, I also bought like test boosters and other crap, and I was only 17 at the time. And because when I was new, I was so overwhelmed with all these products, and all the ads made it seem like you needed all this stuff to achieve your goals, so I bought it all. However, so fast forward to the current state, about 4 or 5 years down the road, and I have learned many tough lessons. One is the supplement industry has become progressively not what the fitness industry is about. The fitness industry should be about making you a better person. You know, the fitness industry teaches you many things, or fitness in general, not really the industry, but fitness. You know, it teaches you how to overcome obstacles. For example, if you plateau at a weight, you know, it teaches you how to push through pain, etc., etc. It's supposed to make you a better person, not to be scammed out of money. And supplement companies are becoming more and more of a sort of scammer of money because of the way they advertise their product. In addition, being a supplement company, you no longer need any real credentials. I mean, the formulas are pretty much well known. I mean, me personally, if I wanted to go make a supplement company, I could call it James's Gains or something, and I could find the information online, and I could start making product. And my degree is in civil engineering, not in sports nutrition, so I really have no business making supplements. Just how I see it. And nowadays, you don't really need a degree. You just kind of start making your supplements, put things in a bottle, kind of go bada bing, bada boom, and you got supplement because they're not really regulated by the FDA from what I've seen. So, in addition, now that I've learned, I have that ranking system I mentioned, and which products that I personally now use, and the products that I don't spend my money on, and I have much more money to spend on other hobbies that I actually enjoy, besides wasting money on supplements. So now I have all this extra income that I can save up for a new truck, which is what I want to buy. I bought some new stuff for deer hunting, that I do deer hunting. I bought a new fishing rod this past summer, purchasing a new gun for hunting. So I've been able to purchase more things that I actually enjoy doing. I enjoy fitness. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just able to purchase things I actually enjoy versus spending all this money on supplements and crap that I really don't need.
If you're supplementing with a protein, you know why you should be taking it and how it's going to help you reach your fitness goals. But how much do you know about the actual product that you're taking? How do you know if what's on the label is what's really in the bottle? In order for you to truly feel confident in a product, shouldn't you know something about where it came from and how it was made?
So the ranking system that I have discovered in doing my research and the readings of the past 4 to 5 years. So this is brought to you by Brick Athletics, so I highly encourage you to follow us on Instagram. Here's a quick screenshot of the page. That's a couple weeks old now in the post. So we are a community. This isn't about one person or one particular or one sport or any individual. This is about everybody. I don't care what your sport is, CrossFit, powerlifting, bodybuilding, physique, marathons, triathlons, whatever. If you're someone who gives 110% in any sport that you do that you're passionate about, I'd be happy to share your story and any lessons that you've learned or anything you'd like to contribute to the general benefit of the public. So one of my main goals for this page is exposing supplement scams and abuse and how the supplement industry lies about the products they sell and how they make it seem like you need everything, which is the part of this video that we're currently in the process of making. And then also disproving bro science and unhealthy lifestyles of eating meals every 3 hours and living out of a Tupperware dish and never really enjoying life and doing cardio for hours and never having fun in life. So be sure to check us out on Instagram. So the two ranking systems I mentioned, one was the financial one, And there's worth it, and then there's 50-50, which is, a gray area, and then there's just complete marketing BS. So this is all in terms of looking at supplements in terms of money. And then there's another one which is evidence-based, which is more of science and research-based, and those are strong evidence, some evidence, and then there's weak to no evidence. And they're the same ranking systems. One just looks at it from a scientific standpoint, and one looks at it from a monetary value standpoint. So the strong evidence, which is worth the money, this would be a creatine monohydrate, and these can be in pills or powder. It doesn't really matter. Dosed at about 5 grams a day. Any brand really that uses CreaPure, which is the licensed form of creatine, is a good choice here. Optimum Nutrition uses CreaPure. It's relatively cheap. I mean, it's probably one of the most studied bodybuilding supplements in the world. Make sure it's creatine monohydrate and not one of the knockoffs. I can't even tell you all the knockoffs they have. So you can do it in a shaker, mix it in the protein. You can mix it with Mio, however floats your boat. The next one's caffeine pills or powder. It depends on your person and depends how resistant you are to caffeine. But it ranges from about 150 to 400 milligrams of caffeine pre-workout is a general range that works for most people. This is going to have to be a science experiment on yourself. However, you want to use the least amount as possible. So, for example, if 200 milligrams makes you feel good and you have a good quality workout, well, then don't do 400 or 300. Just use what you need, not more. More is not always better. So that's going to take also experimentation on your part, but I buy tablets and usually go with Permaforce, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll show you that a little bit later. And then there's also protein powder, which is obviously one of the staples of bodybuilding or any athletics or fitness sport. So there isn't much evidence to suggest that whey protein isolate is definitely better than whey concentrate. So using the concentrate can definitely save you some money. And then people may prefer isolate just because it contains less fat and carbs, but it's really a minimal 1 to 2 grams. It's not going to really make or break the whole difference, but it could make or break your bank account. And isolate, from what I've been able to find, is preferred if you tend to experience bowel distress with milk proteins. So that's also something that's going to be of a personal thing. As a quick reference, whey is better than casein protein, but casein is equal to egg and beef, and those are greater than soy, and that's greater than wheat, and then all the other vegetable proteins are underneath it. The hydrolyzed protein is really unnecessary, and then Dynamitize, Optimum Nutrition, those are great brands. Any brand that really doesn't spike the protein with useless amino acids is fine. That's something you definitely have to look out for. Amino acid spiking is just where they put in pointless amino acids to get their amino acid concentration up. So they'll say like a matrix, and they'll say like 600 grams, but it's really like 50 or 80% of that's of worthless amino acids to your system. So just something to look out for. Make sure you do your research on the particular brand that you're using. And then also a multivitamin. This is just something, if you eat a regular, 2 to 3 servings of veggies and fruits a day, you don't really need one, but I would recommend taking one just to kind of help fill in the gaps that any food may miss your nutritional content. And then, so the other ones are, so this is some evidence. This is more of a discretionary purchase. If you have the extra money and you'd like to spend it, feel free. However, it's not really going to give you 1 to 2% more performance-based, or however you want to judge yourself, but it's not going to give you leaps and bounds. It'll just give you a slight edge. So BCAAs, these can be beneficial while fasted. However, if you're already eating like a protein-containing meal in the previous 2 to 3 hours, your plasma amino acids are already elevated, and this supplement probably won't be doing too much. They're also expensive. I used to take Extend back in the day when I spent money on these discretionary purchases. And then citrulline malate, 4 to 8 grams pre-workout. It could be potentially beneficial for synthesizing endogenous L-arginine for vascularity, giving you a little bit more of the pump that everyone talks about. Everyone's seen the famous video of Arnold talking about the pump. So, increases your blood flow to your working muscles, may help clear metabolites that inhibit muscle contraction, thus giving you a few more reps before failure. Another thing, Permaforce, they make a good powder that you can buy off Amazon for a relatively cheap amount per serving. And then beta-alanine is the other one. So you can take 2 to 6 grams every day. It's very controversial evidence. Essentially, the effectiveness seems to depend on increasing intramuscular carnosine concentrations. This is basically what everyone talks about, getting the tingle. So again, Primal Force makes a good powder here as well. Evidence so far has shown that it's effective in rowers with activities of high intensity, lasting continuously for about 60 seconds. So one set typically does not last a minute, so take it for what it's worth, but feel free to do it. A lot of pre-workouts already have this in it because it's been known to give you the tingling feeling that a lot of people associate with C4. And then this is just weak evidence of marketing BS, and this is basically everything else that I didn't just mention. So this, for example, is test boosters, thermogenics. So for example, thermogenics, they're basically just caffeine for the most part. They'll pretty much just give you energy, which you can essentially get from a caffeine pill. Your body will become used to these typically within a week to 2 weeks, and then their effects are rendered useless. So I mean, they're pretty much not worth the money. And then again, everything other supplement that I didn't mention pretty much falls in this list as a marketing scheme by companies to get you to spend money on products. So these are the brands that I primarily use, or the products that I primarily use. So I use the Animal brand primarily. I'm a big believer in brand loyalty, and they are definitely a brand that has earned my loyalty throughout the years after trying many different supplement companies. I've tried them all, from Optimum to Dynamitize to Muscle Farm. Who else have I tried? Any of the big names, Muscle Tech, Beast, all those companies. I've tried all their products. So I definitely find loyalty in the Animal brand. It's hardcore. As you can see from all their animal ads that they put in all the big magazines. They sponsor powerlifters. It's one of the few companies that actually pays attention to the sport of powerlifting in general. And then it's gritty and grinding. They definitely represent the lifestyle of actually putting in the effort. They're not all about, wearing Nike Flyknit Roches and all these shoes and the clothes that everyone always talks about. They're about getting on a pair of gym shoes, putting up your hood and just busting your ass and going to the gym. They're not all about the, gotta look the part and have to have Nike clothes on and all this hoopla to go to the gym. They're all about, going to the gym and busting your ass and getting results, not all the excess extraneous stuff that this world talks about. And they don't have models. I'm not one to say, they're gorgeous girls, don't get me wrong. Nothing against that, but in terms of selling your product, if you need scantily dressed women to sell your product, I can't really buy it. I mean, it says a lot about your product. When I want to buy something, I want the product to speak to me, not the person selling the product. So if you can get big men that are, 200, 300 plus pounds, lifting over 900 pounds, sweaty, grimy, and gritty and dirty, and I'll still buy your product because it's a good product, that says a lot. If you have to have someone that's naked to get me to buy your product, obviously you are lacking something. So you make up for it through using women to sell your stuff. It's kind of bad. Like I'd buy a Ferrari. I know exactly what I'd be getting. It's a top-notch, handcrafted car. I don't need a woman to sell me a Ferrari. I will buy a Ferrari, and that's why people will pay, $400,000+ for a Ferrari because it's worth it. But like a Kia. Of course, you need a playgirl to jump on a Kia for me to buy it, and the car sucks. It's a piece of crap. That's why they cost $30,000. So just think about that next time you go to buy something in general, and especially supplements when you go to like an Arnold or the Olympia and you go to the fitness expos. So I did a video about this recently within the past 6 months, and I'll post the link right here. It'll pop up for you guys to click on if you're interested in looking at the video I did about why I support Animal. It's a little bit more in depth than what I want to do for this particular video about the products I use. So the products I use. So I use Animal's whey protein. I usually get the 10-pound bag because it's cheaper in the long run, cheaper per serving. And there's a quick picture of it. And then I also will usually get bodybuilding.com fish oil or multivitamin unless something else is on sale or they're running promotion. For example, my last stack, I got Optimum Nutrition's multivitamin just because it was on sale. They were doing a promotion through Thanksgiving. And then any brand really does for fish oil and multivitamin. And then I use That's messed up. That should say Primaforce caffeine pills. Excuse me for that. That's what I use for pre-workout. I don't want to really buy pre-workouts. I just need a little bit of caffeine to get me going at 5 in the morning, and I'm good to go. Especially once I start lifting, my blood starts pumping. I'm pretty wide awake and excited to be in the gym. And then I take Optimum Creatine Monohydrate. Usually get the biggest one I can buy. I want to say it's like 2,000 grams. It's about $35 if I recall. That's what I use for creatine monohydrate. And then Animal Pack Flex. You'll notice this is in red. This is one of the discretionary purchases that I make. For me, particularly, I'm a powerlifter, so I am very hard on my joints, particularly my knees and elbows from all the heavy lifting I do. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that danger, so I am proactive in it. So I will willingly spend the extra money to buy a joint supplement. Like I said, I am a huge fan of Animal, and I have had joint injuries in the past, so it's worth the money. I also take a product called HyoJoint. There's been some research done on it that is also beneficial for your joints. Again, I am a powerlifter. It's worth the money for me. So, for example, like I mentioned with BCAs, if you're a bodybuilder and you do a lot of fasted cardio going into a meet or a show, excuse me, those may be beneficial, and you may want to take a look at doing that. So those are all the products I use. I've used to use a lot more in the past, as I mentioned, thermogenics, test boosters, BCAs, and a whole bunch of other things. I really don't use those anymore. This is the basics. I just stick to the basics. Obviously, there's Quest bars featured. But those are more just a snack on if I can't get to food. Any reason I really don't consider those a supplement. I think they're just the best tasting protein bars in the market. So these are the products I use. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Don't overcomplicate things. Don't listen to the mainstream industry. Do your research before buying a product. And at the end of the day, it is your ultimate decision. But hope that the guidelines that I've given you help give you something to base your decision on using my past experiences.